Students, this is our continuation subject, History, Standard 8th. Chapter number 4, The Freedom Struggle of 1857. Part 3. Students, in last video, we were learning causes of struggle of 1857. In that, we have studied economic causes and social causes. How were they impacted on that struggle? Now we are going to see political causes. After 1757, the British took charge of many Indian states. Later, Lord Dalhousie annexed many princely states on various causes. The Nawab of Ayodhya was dethroned on grounds of maladministration, whereas the princely states of Satara, Nagpur and Jhansi were annexed through the doctrine of lapse. Due to the policies of Dalhousie, the Indians did not consider the British as trustworthy. In this paragraph, they have said us what was the causes in the political view. After 1757, Britishers took charge of many Indian states, means they captured many Indian states. And that time, Lord Dalhousie annexed many princely states on various causes. The Nawab of Ayodhya was dethroned on grounds of maladministration. Dethroned means what? Removed his power. Okay. So, he was dethroned on grounds of maladministration, whereas the princely states of Satara, Nagpur and Jhansi were annexed through the doctrine of lapse. Due to the policies of Dalhousie, the Indians, they were not happy with that British. They said they are not trustworthy. See, the British expansion had led to the propagation of unjust policies that led to the loss of power of the Nawabs and Zamindars residing at various places of India. The introduction of unfair policies like the policy of trade and commerce, the policy of indirect subordination, subsidiary alliance, the policy of war and annexion, the policy of direct subordination, doctrine of lapse, the policy of misgovernance, through which Awadh was annexed, greatly hampered the interests of the rulers of the native states, and they one by one became victims of British expansionism. Therefore, those rulers who lost their states to the British were naturally against the Britishers and took sides against them. Doctrine of lapse. It was the policy by which the state of an issueless, deceased ruler would automatically pass to the British Company. Lord Dalhousie made the best use of it, as he never wasted an opportunity and thus annexed all such states whose rulers died without any legal successor. States annexed by doctrine of lapse: Satara, 1848, Jaipur, Samblur, 1849. Nagpur and Jhansi 1854 and Awadh 1856. Now another thing is cruelty and disrespect to the local rulers. The British instigated the Indian rulers and hurt the sentiments under their rule. Nana Sahib lost his pension. Rani of Jhansi was not permitted to adopt a son. It is another thing which I wanted to tell you. So that is why I'm telling you. They turned against the British. They were the most able leaders of the revolt. The annexation of Oudh and deposition of its ruler Wajid Ali Shah made Oudh the most prominent center of the revolt. Bahadur Shah II, the Mughal emperor and his successors were humiliated by the British. They were prohibited from using their ancestral palace, the Red Fort, in future. Now, second thing is defeat of British in the First Anglo-Afghan War. The First Anglo-Afghan War broke out in 1838 when the British governor of India launched an attack on Afghanistan. He feared growing Russian influence in Afghanistan. The British captured Ghazi and Kabul. The British suffered heavy losses, including first battle in a regiment of 4,500 soldiers. Only one survived. By 1842, troops were forced to withdraw. This was a source of inspiration for Indians and it encouraged them to fight against their oppressors as they realized the British were not invincible. Got it? Now next point, discontent among Indian soldiers. Why Indian soldiers were dissatisfied? That we are going to see in this paragraph. Now I read. The Indian soldiers were given low status by the British officers. They could not gain any post higher than the Subedar. They were paid less compared to the British soldiers. The allowances were also gradually decreased. Due to these reasons, there was growing discontent among the Indian soldiers. Now see, the Great Revolt of 1857, also known as Sepoy Rebellion or Mutiny, was one of the most significant events in the colonial history of India. This rebellion was a major anti-colonial movement against the aggressive imperialist policies of the British. In fact, it was an economic, political and social struggle against the British rule, and one of the most important causes of the revolt of 1857 was discontent among sepoys, means dissatisfaction among sepoys. Now what was the causes behind that dissatisfaction? That we are going to see. Now see, I want to explain in a point wise, okay? First point is, the sepoys means soldiers, a generic term used for native Indian soldiers of the Bengal army. Second point, the soldiers in the company's army came from peasants' families. Sepoys were only peasants in uniform and there was not detached from their rural life. Sepoys in their tenure of service in the army could only be promoted to the rank of Subedar, and their remuneration was also less compared to their British soldiers. The relationship of the sepoys with their superior white officers underwent a significant change and became strained in the years preceding the uprising of 1857. Understood? Now next point is immediate cause. In 1856, the British provided long Enfield rifles to the Indian sepoys. The sepoys were required to bite the end of the cartridges. The news spread out that these cartridges were smeared in the fats of cow and pig. Due to this, the religious sentiments of Hindu and Muslim sepoys were hurt and made them unhappy. Now, they have said us that in an attempt to modernize the equipment of the army by Governor General, the Enfield rifles were introduced. Who had introduced that? Then Hardinge. He was the Governor General. Before the cartridges could be loaded into these newly introduced rifles, the greased cover of the cartridges had to be beaten off by teeth. There was a rumor among the sepoys in January 1857 that the greased cartridge contained the fat of cow and pig. The cow is sacred, means very pure for Hindus, and pig is forbidden to the Muslims. They never eat. So they were heard somewhere. The rumor that the new cartridges were greased with the fat of cows and pigs spread like wildfire across the sepoy lines of North India. The sepoys were now convinced that the introduction of greased cartridges was a deliberate attempt to defile Hindu and Muslim religion and their religious feelings. British did not make any attempt to allay this fear. As a result, the issue of Enfield rifle became one of the most significant events leading to the uprising of 1857. Got it, everyone? Till here? Student, I hope you have understood very well this lesson till here. Further lesson we will see in next video. Thank you.